Hey guys, what's up? It's Claudio here, and I am back for another race. This is at Prospect Park, Brooklyn, Lucarelli and Castaldi Cup. It's 5 laps, Cat 5, 3.4 mile loops. Okay, this is my first time racing here. I'm super excited, and but I know the course. I've cycled here. I know there's a big downhill, and then there is this hill that I was super nervous about blowing up and getting dropped, on the first lap. But I made it past the first lap. I made it past actually all the laps until the very end, where I didn't have the legs to go over it with the group, and I got dropped, and then like a minute later that was the end of the race. So I mean, I really was close. As you can see, this race is super chill. The start is not aggressive at all. Okay, this is a big change for me. Usually by now I've already done like 800 watts, and I'm doing 300, 400, 500 watts to try to hold on, and it's like awful and scary, and I'm freaking out. But no, I'm not freaking out here. Super chill. The thing about this race though that was different is there's a lot of sketchy stuff going on. So like a lot of kind of swerving, and I know that I felt like I used my brakes more in this race than in any other race. And there were people behind me, yelling at me, or at people in front of us to stop using our brakes. I know, sorry guys, that was me. It's kind of like a chain reaction. The person in front of you brakes and you have to brake, or you have to swerve, and it just creates this whole really sketchy situation, right? When you have this many beginner riders. I can't tell who's really a beginner or not, but there was just a lot of stuff like that happening. So we're all out here learning. At least I am. And at this race, I'm just trying to draft. I'm trying to get good at drafting. That's a big thing. And it's kind of hard. It's still hard, especially riding this close to other people. A lot of stuff is going on. I'm flinching at everything. So I have to. Sometimes I have a little too much momentum, so I have to kind of swerve so I don't rear end them, or I have to brake, and that's like annoying people behind me. So here's the downhill section, and again, I didn't want to be braking here, but I kind of I was feeling it out, and I wasn't confident enough to just like hammer it down the hill and pass people. But here I am. I do pass a little with my momentum, and then in this section now we're starting to put some power down, which is cool, and I can totally do it because I'm not all blown up or anything. So we're coming in, and I'm really just I'm trying to stay in the front half of this race, and I did a lot of that. I spent a lot of time in the front half and the front third. Super good. It's a good strategy for me, especially going up the hill, which you'll see in a minute, because I knew I was going to fall back, right? So start at the front as much as possible, because I'm going to drop a ton of positions, and then just hang on to the back end of the group. So let's see what happens here. Still just chilling. We are going pretty fast though, 27, but really, it's all about the draft. The hype is real. A lot of people in the comments are like, man, you don't draft at all. What the hell? Get in the draft. And totally understand that. Here I'm like swerving because I don't want to rear end them. Then I get back in. You totally feel the draft in the group. It's so important. I'm starting to understand. And here, for example, the guy, he kind of tested me to take my slot, but you know, I closed the gap real quick and got back in. So people will do that. If you're not holding your line and even a small little gap forms, they will try to close that gap and get you out of there like they should, you know. So you have to be really good about not letting gaps open up. There I swerved again. I don't know why. I mean, I was kind of squirrely here. Sorry, guys. But I was really just trying to hold my line. So you gotta hold your line. You know, there were riders, more experienced riders, were yelling at everybody for not holding their line or for changing positions, changing lanes, so to speak, without looking over your shoulder. Now, a lot of that was happening. It's kind of dangerous in this group setting. So here I'm closing gaps. I know that I need to close those gaps. And things are getting fast. This is like a mini little uphill. And the big hill is coming up. So I know I better not lose any position. So this is the start of that hill. And any of you that have ridden this course, you know, by yourselves, it's like impossible to go by yourself, you know, at 19, 20 miles an hour. But with a group, totally doable, right? Because of the draft. The draft is real. Okay, 19 miles an hour up this hill, 20. That's insane. I could never do that by myself without, you know, maybe if I did like, I don't know, 500 watts or something. But it's pretty cool to ride that fast up this hill in a group. I'm struggling here actually. Now that I look at my stats and my heart rate, anything above, when I hit 180, I'm hurting. So I really gave it a good dig in here to stay and not lose too many positions. I do start to fall back slightly, but I lost a few. It's okay. So that was a pretty good first time up that hill. I'm telling this guy that he has it. He can close that gap for me because I need to recover. So for those of you who don't know me, here are my stats, so you can get an idea of what I'm working with. FTP is like 250 or maybe 230. 250 is out of the saddle. I did an FTP test. I was out of the saddle the whole time, so I got an FTP of 250. But I would say my in-saddle power is closer to around 230. Maybe I can do 240. I hit some watts here. This gap was forming up. Kind of panicked a little. We're going fast here. And the kind of workout. So I do train for triathlons, but now I'm starting to do more of training geared for these types of races. So here are a couple of workouts that I'm going to do this week. This one's just called sprints. 10-minute warm-up, 20 minutes at zone 2. For me, it's 150 to 200 watts. Then 30 minutes of sprints. So it's 15 seconds of all-out, crush yourself sprint. Then 2 minutes and 45 seconds of easy spin. So you do that, cycle through that for 30 minutes. So it'll end up being, you do that 10 times. And then a 10-minute cool down. And then another workout. I've done this one before. It's great. Sprint and settle. That's what it's called. And then a 10-minute warm-up. And then you do 4 times 15 minutes as following. 3 minutes at like a recovery, zone 1, zone 2. Then 7 minutes alternating between 30 seconds easy and 30 seconds like absolute best effort. So almost like a 30-second sprint. So you do that for 7 minutes. Then you get 5 minutes afterwards of a zone 3. So that's like a hard tempo, a solid tempo wattage effort. So for me, it's like 250 watts. And that gets you used to sprinting and then just doing a hard sustaining effort after on tired legs. That's a pretty good workout. And then 10-minute cool down. All right, so here we are at the big swooping downhill. By the way, if you guys ever thought about putting carbon wheels on your bike, especially going like deep dish, and I have the 60 millimeter carbon wheels on mine, and man, they really rip. I can tell in the downhills that it carries you. They're so aero, and they are great for this type of race. If you're a climber and you're climbing all the time, you probably don't want 60 millimeter wheels. But for stuff like this, the hype is real when it comes to carbon wheels. You don't have to get super expensive ones. Mine were like $1,200 or something for a set. They're high HIE wheels. Carbon is made in China and then they're put together in the US. That's why they can get you that pricing. But it's super fun to go on carbon wheels. Definitely it's like the second upgrade. First you get a power meter, then you put on carbon wheels, next Christmas around. But totally notice it on a race like this. And yeah, people complain about the wind because they catch wind, but it's not a big deal. It's whatever. You can handle it. So I'm here drafting like a good boy, and just staying in the group. And this was the race. It's all about conserving energy, and I've really been learning to do that. It's so valuable. But it's not easy. If you're a beginner watching this or somebody who's never raced, it's like, of course, you got to draft, but go out there and do it with like, a bunch of people around you and like people speeding up and slowing down. And it's like super nerve-wracking. You gotta become, less sensitive to all the surges and all the twitchy stuff going on around you and not let it affect you. Okay, it seems like here we're putting in some power. You gotta make sure not to get gapped, right? Close those little mini gaps. So overall, I'm just feeling good. Feeling good about this race. And here, big slowdown, big break, because we got too close to the Cat 3-4s that were in front of us. So we got neutralized. They were like a minute ahead, but we caught up to them. And we caught up to where the motorcycle slowed us down. So we got neutralized. And I think this might have been what saved me. Otherwise I would have been dropped maybe way earlier. But we slowed down, and then the whole hill of this lap was super easy. So saved our legs, definitely saved my legs. And it's kind of unusual, I think. I asked somebody if this happens all the time, and not really. But we caught up to them. So people are just having a good time. They're laughing, they're talking, grabbing a drink. I still never grab a drink in a race. There's no way I'm taking my hands off the handlebars. Hell no. I'm holding on for my dear life. I know I'll be comfortable racing when I can grab a drink. But no way I'm doing that. No way I'm taking a gel or anything like that. I will die. So we got neutralized for a while. I guess it was kind of cool. It was interesting. Something happened. And, it was kind of exciting. But it made the race sketchy as heck, because it's like, what's going on? You got to brake, and people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so yeah, my average power for this whole race was 189 watts. Easy. Compared to the other races. Max power is 763. At some point I really just hammered it. It wasn't at the end. And here they go. They let us speed up again. And we're back. Everybody's got fresh legs now. Gonna start to hammer it. Let's see what else. So I'm just gonna let this roll on. We're still not even. We're about halfway through the race. I'll let you guys watch it. Some of you came up to me afterwards to say hello. That's awesome. I've got the bright neon green Cannondale. Feel free to say hello. It's awesome to talk to you guys if you watch my videos. Some of you even give me some tips on what to do, which is great. I'd love to say hello. So I'll let this play on. Thanks again for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And I'll be posting more videos throughout the year. All right, thanks guys, and see you out there. Peace.